I wrote to the Minister on the 3rd of June 2022 with some concerns and questions which I asked her to reply to. I didn't hear from her then. About a month later, I sent a follow-up letter requesting a reply. I received the response last Thursday. And that response set out some positions on the matters I had raised and asked me to respond with the naming of our committee members before today. I wrote to the Minister again today, saying to her, first of all, that on the main issue on the table in terms of constitutional reform, which is for Jamaica to move from being ruled with a head of state, if not governed, by a monarch based in the UK, to having a Jamaican head of state, a president, that as part of that process, we don't do it in a piecemeal way, but we complete our decolonization, achieve full sovereignty and political independence by moving away from the Queen's Privy Council as our final court and acceding to the jurisdiction of the Caribbean Court of Justice as our final court. The issue of access to justice for our people and access to their final court of appeal is a very real, practical issue, and the current arrangements are fundamentally inaccessible. Jamaicans need to have a visa to visit the UK, as do their Jamaican counsel. And the cost inherent in a process of litigating in the United Kingdom, unless you're lucky enough to get pro bono, which means free of charge support from UK lawyers, which is usually in the context of death penalty cases, Jamaican litigants are unable to take their appeals there. So most matters which involve complex or important points of law end at the level of the Court of Appeal, which is not the final level of our judicial system. And this is hampering the development of our jurisprudence and fettering the right of our citizens to due process and access to justice. This is an important and fundamental matter for us, and we believe that both issues should be addressed at the same time. The Minister has also indicated that there is to be a referendum on the monarchy and on other matters which have not been disclosed to us. I've written to her to say I would like full and transparent disclosure of which amendments requiring a referendum the government is intent to pursue. I would like to know that before we embark on this committee exercise. The Minister also indicated that part of this exercise is to do a review of the Charter of Rights. Now, the Charter of Rights was enacted in 2011 after a decade and a half of development, of work which was done together, both sides were involved, and it modernized the previous chapter 3 of the Constitution. That new chapter 3, the Charter of Rights, has created an array of important rights for our people. Some of the provisions of it have been subject to litigation. Some of those matters are subject to appeals, which are pending. In my view, it is very early in the life of the Charter for us to be reviewing and seeking to amend it. Also, the Minister, when she was Attorney General, told this House that sometimes the rights of the people have to be abridged or abrogated. Now, in that context, and the context of the way in which the Constitution has been treated in the last several years, I have asked the Minister to disclose in a full and transparent way the specific changes to the Charter which the government is intent to pursue. I would like to know what those are, before we embark on the exercise of reviewing. Hold on. Thank you. So it is not a question that I am refusing to nominate members from the opposition to sit on this committee, but I am asking, and I expect and hope to receive the clarity, transparency, and disclosure that we want and that the Jamaican people deserve as to where the government intends to go on these important matters. With that disclosure, we will feel much more comfortable that if we participate in this exercise, we are doing so with a full understanding of where the government intends to go. There may be matters which are not technical legal matters, but are more issues of principle affecting the political system and the democratic system that we are all practitioners in, which may require some discussion to resolve those issues outside of the context of this committee of experts. So that is where we are today, and I would love to proceed and appoint our members to the committee, but I expect a response giving the information which we have reasonably required that the Jamaican people are entitled to know, and I hope that that reply won't take another 6 months, because everybody is frustrated that we seem to be no further along a year after this new ministry was created. So I urge the minister, I understand your disappointment, but put that behind you and let us try and sort this out so that we feel comfortable to go down the road with you, the particular road that you are seeking to travel on. And it is not that we're unwilling to do so, but we want to do so with a good understanding, a full understanding of the direction that you intend to take us when we go there. We don't want to be going there and to find that policy issues are being raised with which we have fundamental disagreements, and that would be counterproductive. Let us know where we stand at the outset so we can make it clear to you what our positions are on those issues, and maybe we can resolve them in a different way than a committee where we have two representatives would be dealing with what I would regard as being more technical aspects of the issues. So that's where we stand. We are not intending to delay anything. We haven't taken 6 months to reply. I replied today, having been written to on Thursday. That reply came to me 6 months after my letter to the minister.